Hey Nintendo fans and collectors, this is Lithium017 from my channel, Nintendo Collecting 101, bringing you collecting tip number 70, invest in RPGs. RPGs are kind of a unique genre, and I have several reasons I think why they usually maintain their value and go up in value with time. I think, number one, there's a lot of development cost that goes into an RPG, and the games are usually very, very long. Now, I'm not saying that other types of genres of games aren't long games or take many hours to complete, but generally an RPG, such as one of the ones you see here, take a very long time to beat. We're talking about 50 to 100 hours usually to beat. There's some pseudo-RPG games that I'm showing here as well, and they might not take as long, but usually the longer the game, the more someone is willing to pay for it, and that's why in the long run, I think they actually maintain value. Number two is obviously just quality. They're usually very, very good games. They're well written with story, they have some action elements, there's role-playing elements, and they're just a great mix for a game. And number three, I don't know if they sell all that well usually because it's such a niche market. Not a lot of people are willing to maybe get a game and invest 100 hours into it. So I'm just going to give you some examples of some RPG games that I think you should definitely invest in and some RPG series. Now, first and foremost, I do have a Zelda game here, and that's kind of a pseudo-RPG. This is The Adventure of Link. It's Zelda 2. It has some RPG elements, and clearly this one is quite valuable today. So anything that's a first-party game that has some RPG elements, definitely want to pick those up. Another one that is doing really well, another series, is the Final Fantasy series. Something like Final Fantasy 2, Final Fantasy 1 on the NES. This Final Fantasy 3 is usually very, very expensive on the Super Nintendo, and this is one of the best games ever made. So you should definitely think about getting this one. There are some more recent Final Fantasy games on Nintendo consoles that aren't the numbered series anymore, like Crystal Chronicles or Crystal Chronicles Echoes of Time. And I do still need to take some stickers off these because I bought them recently. So usually the Final Fantasy series is a pretty safe bet as well. One of my favorite series, and it's mostly an RPG series, is the Paper Mario series, which began all the way back on the Super Nintendo with Super Mario RPG. If you're a collector, I'm definitely sure you know about this game. And Paper Mario has maintained its value very well as well, I would say. I think it's still around $60 complete, which is what it was when it actually came out. There's the Paper Mario game, obviously, on the GameCube, The Thousand Year Door. Really, really good as well. I might have liked this game more if I played it before the Paper Mario on the Nintendo 64. And then there's probably my least favorite in the series, Super Paper Mario, where they changed it up a little bit, and it felt like it had less RPG elements, actually. Another great series to look out for is the Harvest Moon series. There was one on the Super Nintendo. I don't have that one yet. It is very, very expensive, hundreds of dollars to get complete. But this is Harvest Moon 64 and my favorite of the series. It's fantastic. Natsume, a lot of their games maintain their value as well. And then Harvest Moon Tree of Tranquility. There were a few on GameCube. Magical Melody kind of rings true in my heart that I remember playing, but I got rid of it. I believe that was on the GameCube. This is Tree of Tranquility, and I'm told it's very good, so I just picked that up. And I was very fortunate to get this one for $15. This is kind of a side off-spin to Harvest Moon. This is called Harvest Moon, basically, but it's Rune Factory Frontier. And it's much different. I've never played this series. I'm looking forward to it. The RPG series you should be trying to get right now before they boom up in price is Operation Rainfall, meaning Xenoblade Chronicles, Pandora's Tower, and last but not least, The Last Story, which did come out in this special edition in North America because the other two did not. And they look fantastic. There is an art book you can get with Xenoblade Chronicles. If you can find it with the art book, that increases the value, because this one's already over $100, usually even opened. I think Pandora's Tower won't sell very well, same with The Last Story, so I would pick up that 3 trilogies set that's kind of from Europe that thank God we got them. And here are just some other games that I should probably mention that I was told they're RPGs. And this is Phantom Brave, but you can correct me if I'm wrong. And this one's pretty hard to get. Sakura Wars, So Long My Love. I bought this new, but it was already opened. I hate when EB Games does that. Anyone else hate that? I hate it. And a great game for the GameCube, Tales of Symphonia. There's also Skies of Arcadia that I want to get. So these are some RPG series that I would suggest you try and pick up because RPGs maintain their value over time. If you have an RPG series that you want me to check out, put a comment below. Feel free to fill that like bucket. Follow me on Facebook and Twitter. And remember, as always, game on.